Hey guys, today I wanted to talk a little bit about creativity and what it really means to be an artist. And the reason I wanted to do that is yesterday we lost Paul Rubens, aka Pee Wee Herman, who, if you were around in the 80s, might remember him as the creator of a very inventive kids show and a couple of different movies. He created a persona that many people in the 80s believed was legitimately him. Started off doing a special on HBO, from what I remember, which was a little bit subversive, and then he came up with an entire universe for his kids show and went from there. And he's been playing the character for decades, but it's a real testament to what it means to be an artist. He created this persona, lived it, and did great things for kids with this persona. And it's a shame we lost him. We're losing a lot of those creative forces that we had from decades ago, and there's very few things that are rising up to take their place. Like the modern day equivalent of Pee Wee Herman is this asshole, Blippi, who is a carbon copy, but without any of the whimsy, without any of the charm, and without any of the inventiveness. If you're around kids like I am, you probably have to watch this fucker. He sucks balls, and yeah, I would not recommend it. There's nothing about the show that will throw adults a bone, and there's nothing about it that is charming in any way. He's awful. But we have other examples of this, going from the 80s to present day. I was raised on this cartoon right here. Garfield and Friends, classic show. You can see here, I'm just going off of the imagery here. I'm not going to talk about the way the show has changed, but what you see here is a real cartoon character. It's drawn well. There's charisma to the character. That smirk. You know exactly what he's thinking. And then here's what the kids that want to watch Garfield are going to see today. You're going to see that shit. Fucking CG nightmare. Absolutely awful. I don't know what the fuck happened to his leg, but no expression in the face. Completely computer generated, no artistry behind the image, just complete ass. And what I'm seeing now is this type of art-free generation is happening, of course, in the metal genre. I am still looking towards death metal, unfortunately, for any kind of form of artistic representation, and it just keeps letting me down, modern tech death especially. And I think that what a lot of the people that are participating in this genre are doing is that they're seeing the genre and the feats that you can accomplish within the genre as forms of artistry based mainly in technique. Like, oh, well, I made this faster than the last guy. I made that more technical, more busy than the last guy, more brutal than the last guy. And all of those are vehicles for your message, which is your melody, which most people cannot produce anymore. And I've given you many examples of this channel, or on this channel, of that. But yeah, I'm still trying to find it in modern people. Coming up empty a lot. And one of those examples that I'm seeing a lot in how it's being represented is in the artwork. And just going through my favorite label, the Artisan Era, I'm seeing a lot of just the same packaging, the same way a band is presented. And when I create something, it doesn't have to be what I do, but I'm just, as a counter example, I always have the image that I want to project. I have the music wanting to project that image, and I want it to mean something. I want to broadcast an idea to you. And I think that when a lot of these people are creating music, they want you to be like, damn, he fucking played his heart out. Look at how fucking crazy those sweep picks are, shit like that. But I don't think that the creator here steps away from his composition and says, God damn, I really presented an idea to an audience. I really gave you a picture. And obviously, if I create something, I'm not anticipating that you're going to envision the same exact thing that I do when you come across it. But you should be able to get from the colors of the music the basic emotions attached to the idea, and maybe you'll get close to what the artist represents. And that vagueness is what makes art what it is. You don't want to give them a complete concrete image, but at the same time, you want to give them something. You want to give them something that represents something, not just fucking technique and skill and speed. Like none of that actually is a depiction of anything. You need to have the image to have that get it across. And just going back to what I was discussing with the artwork for the Artisan era, I just see the same copy-paste shit. So I'm just going to show you some examples real quick. So right here, here's a new release they have coming up from whoever the fuck. But they're going to have, you're going to see different kinds of imagery in these examples. But the focal points of how the album cover wants you to digest it are going to be the same. You're going to see, I have to do a mirror image, so I might not be pointing exactly, but you have the logo here, and then it comes down this way. Like that's how your eyes are going to interact with the art. And you can see the same shit as I scroll through. Logo, same spot, and then where your attention is going to be diverted. I mean, if you look at any fucking painting, you're going to see the focal points be different depending on what the artist is trying to show you. I don't know if the same artist is used for all of these. Even if it is, that's a very strong handicap I'm seeing, that you just have the same kind of design behind what you're saying. But let's keep going. So same shit. You have the logo, same spot, and then the attention goes to the image. Go here. Where are we at here? This one? Next one. Same shit. Logo, looking exactly the same kind of spiky logo, kind of legible, kind of not, and then the rest of the image. And then, what's the next example? Going here. Same shit again. You get the idea. I'm like a broken record here. Spiky logo, and then the image, drawing downward. And here's the last example I had. Same shit. You got the logo, and then where your eyes are going to be drawn, and it's making you go on the same journey. And unfortunately, that's exactly what all these albums do. They make you go on the same oral journey. It's very disappointing, but just to show you guys exactly what these records in their covers are trying to take me on, it's the same exact image, and I managed to kind of take away the art and look at just where it's directing me, and I'll show you what I came up with. So as you can see, all of them kind of start here with the logo, and they just go around here to the head, and it's the same story for every record. I'd like a little variety. I don't need to see the same image. Even if your music is similar, just give me a different cover, kind of, just so that I can kind of get an idea that you have your own identity. But if all your covers look like that, I'm not really going to be able to determine that you're different from anybody else on your roster. I mean, give me something here. So, I don't know. It's a shame. It's a shame because I want an album cover to take me somewhere. If they're all taking me from balls to head of dick, like, I'm going to be pretty fucking disappointed. But anyway, this is very indicative of what you're going to be hearing on any of these records anyway, so maybe it's perfect. But what I'm trying to get across is I really want these people to come across as artists. I want these people to show me who they are. And the reason I get so disappointed in metal is because I really do believe that this genre has allowed us to have an infinite canvas to draw upon. And I know I come across as, this shit sucks, that shit's wrong, but, and you may glean from that I want metal to be one way. And the problem is, that's absolutely untrue. You guys want it to all be one way. You want it to all be this way. You want it to all have the same recipe. You want it to have all the same genre tropes. I don't want that. I don't want to hear what metal is. I know what metal is. I want to hear who you are. So, people like Dean Lamb, show me who you are. I don't want to hear the exercise. I don't want to hear the speed unless the speed is attached to a message. Show me who Dean Lamb is. Malcolm Pugh, label head, the guy that is determining exactly how all of these bands are going to sound. Show me who you are. Show me, demand from your roster to know who they are. I'm sure they're giving you what you want to hear. I'm sure they're giving you the tropes, they're giving you the recipe, but demand more. Ask them who they are. And you might be thinking, who the fuck am I? Who the fuck am I to ask huge players like Dean Lamb and Malcolm Pugh who they are. I'll tell you who I am. I'm the audience, and I have every fucking right to ask, as a member of the audience, that the artist reveal themselves to me. So if they're not pulling that off, they're not giving you art. That's about all I wanted to say about that. So thanks for listening.